The rise and fall of First Empire of the world. Imagine a time when no empire existed, only scattered city-states, each ruled by its own proud king and protected by its own gods. Then, out of the dust of ancient Mesopotamia, a man rose who changed everything. He began as an unknown servant and ended as a legend, the founder of the first true empire in human history. His name was Sargon of Akkad, and his ambition would reshape the world forever. Around the middle of the 3rd millennium BCE, a new power emerged from the northern cities of Mesopotamia and remade the map of the ancient Near East. Sargon of Akkad, born, as the legends say, in obscurity and risen to power through daring and organization, cut across the patchwork of city-states that had long dominated southern Mesopotamia. Where Sumerian cities had been independent, ruled by temple priests and local kings, Sargon created something different. The first great territorial empire known to history, centered on the city of Akkad, Akkad, and stretching from the Mediterranean trade routes in the west to the Zagros foothills in the east. Sargon's innovation was both military and administrative. He forged a standing political center that could project force beyond its immediate hinterland, maintaining garrisons, securing supply lines, and establishing loyal governors in conquered cities. He spoke a Semitic language that later scholars call Akkadian, but he ruled over a majority Sumerian population and adopted many Sumerian institutions. The result was a hybrid imperial culture that used Sumerian cuneiform writing for administration while gradually spreading Akkadian as a spoken and written language across the region. Under Sargon's heirs, especially his grandson Naram-Sin, the empire reached its high point. Naram-Sin styled himself not merely as a king, but as king of the 4 quarters, and even claimed a kind of divine status. He was depicted in monumental art with a horned helmet, a symbol later reserved for gods. The famous victory stele of Naram-Sin captures this idea. The king ascending a mountain, trampling defeated foes, framed by cosmic symbols that reinforce imperial destiny. Economically, the empire thrived on long-distance trade, copper from Oman, timber from the Levant, luxury goods and textiles, as well as on intensified agricultural production in the irrigated plains. Administrative records from this era show an energetic bureaucracy. Inventories, rations for soldiers and workers, temple accounts, and legal decisions that kept the imperial machine supplied and functioning. Culturally, Akkad was a melding point. The Akkadian language and Semitic names spread into the south. Sumerian literary, religious, and administrative traditions continued and mingled with Akkadian elements. The scribal schools wrote in both languages. New gods and old deities were fused together, and artistic styles blended Sumerian realism with northern motifs. Innovations in law, record-keeping, and governance set patterns later empires would follow. Yet the empire's strength hid deep vulnerabilities. It covered diverse peoples and ecologies. Its communication networks were long for the time, and maintaining distant garrisons and governors required immense resources. In the generations after Naram-Sin, the center weakened. External pressures, nomadic or semi-nomadic groups such as the Gudians from the Zagros, pushed into Mesopotamia. Internal strains, local rebellions, and the difficulty of sustaining centralized control across a vast territory further frayed imperial cohesion. Some scholars believe climate played a part. Evidence suggests a severe drought hit Mesopotamia around this time, drying up rivers and wrecking harvests. Starving cities rebelled. Grain shipments stopped. The empire's structure, once so strong, crumbled from within and finally Akkad was gone. But Sargon's idea endured. The concept of empire, one ruler claiming authority over many lands and peoples, was born in Akkad and passed down to the Assyrians, Babylonians, and Persians. Akkadian became the language of diplomacy, and Sargon's legend inspired kings for more than 1,000 years. The story of Akkad is more than history. It's the moment humanity first learned how to build, rule, and lose an empire.